What's the funny thing about banks though is if you rob them, you go to jail, but if they rob you, it's business.
That's a good one.
And now that music video blew up to do like 50 plus million views.
Wow.
Yeah, I think it might be at 50 million. There's law of attraction, and then there's a law of putting in that work.
Yeah.
You know, the law of putting in that work will allow you to manifest your desires.
Welcome back to the Seeking Success Podcast, the #1 podcast in Toronto. Today, we have a very special guest. We got Vozhi in the house,
Yes, sir.
all the way
Yes,
from
sir.
Seattle, Washington.
Damn.
Fresh off the flight.
Yo.
Out here, yeah, literally less than 24 hours.
That's sick as hell.
sick.
Thanks for coming on today, bro.
Yo, also, this is our first guest who's actually in person who's not Canadian. Yeah.
And not specifically not from Toronto, too.
Am I the first American guest?
In person,
In
yeah.
person, yeah.
Wow.
Which
We
is
had some virtual ones, a lot at Miami, but in person, no.
I'm honored.
So that's fucking sick.
I'm honored, yeah, man.
Yo, so we have a couple questions, okay?
Yes, sir.
Yo, is your favorite cuisine, is it Italian?
No.
Because you co-owned a pizza and pasta joint.
That's interesting that you know that, man.
Of course I know that.
Yeah. It actually isn't my favorite cuisine, but I do love pizza. I do love pasta. And, you know, while that joint was owned, we actually infused some Indian style flavors to it. We actually had like a butter chicken pizza, a
shit.
tandoori chicken pizza, etc.
Okay,
but
sick.
at the end of 2020, we actually ended up selling that business. But that's just, man, that's like I feel like, what was that? Like, who's that? It's like Nardwar type of question, the way you just asked me.
I don't know who that is, but
You know Nardwar? He's from Canada.
All right? No.
He's that guy that does like interviews with like hip hop artists, but then he'll ask them like all sorts of obscure questions. It'll just blow the hip hop artist's mind. Like, how do you know that?
yo, so
Do.
Yeah, that guy. Yeah,
Yo, so how about Bollywood 360?
Bollywood 360. That's what the place is called now. Man, that's crazy that you know that still. Yeah, this guy is Nardwar.
So you're obviously an artist.
Yes, sir.
You're obviously a real estate agent, but a lot of people don't know you're also an author. So you're actually on page 73, chapter 9 of Product Management Essentials.
That's crazy. This guy is Nardwar, bro. So that's shout out my friend Ashwin Pranam. He's gonna be so excited like seeing this clip later. But yeah, that's my guy. He wrote a book for product managers. You know, him being one. And I was actually a product manager in my previous life before I got into real estate. And yeah, you know, since we were in a similar path at that time period, he asked me for a little quote on what I had done. So I can't quite claim an author yet, but I do have a little part in that book.
You do,
Yeah,
you do.
Yeah, I'm in a book. You know
You're
what I
in a
mean?
book.
Someone quoted me.
That's pretty sick stuff.
And tu parles en français aussi. A lot of people don't know that.
Un peu de français.
Yeah.
J'ai étudié français pour 3 ans. So yeah, you know, I can.
Was that
I like-
Chinese?
He studied French for 3 years.
Yeah, it's actually Mandarin.
That's
Yeah,
Mandarin.
Specifically Mandarin. Yeah,
Sick.
yeah.
And what would you rate Love City Love on a scale of 1 to 10?
I don't know much about it for me to say.
Fair.
Yeah, yeah. Man, but shit, like y'all have been killing it, bro. #1 podcast in Toronto, bringing me out here. Like,
Thank you, man.
I got that DM, like, and I was like, oh shit, #1 podcast in Toronto wants to interview me.
Yeah,
I'm
bro.
there. Say less.
For sure.
That's sick, bro. This is our most expensive guest, having to fly him all the way here.
Yeah.
I'm joking, guys. We don't fly our PR, guys.
Yeah, it's all relationship based. But man, so y'all were in a real estate background in the past. Like, tell me about that.
Sure. Yeah. So
We literally just talked about that on the
Yeah,
podcast,
it's so
but
funny,
very
yeah.
briefly. Go ahead.
Okay, so I was 17, finished high school, and I started to get my real estate license. Had my mom fucking sign out the contracts and shit because I wasn't 18.
Okay.
Got my real estate license. Well, I went to school and then I dropped out after a week. I was gonna be a French teacher.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
So you're like fluent in French.
Not anymore because it was like a couple of years ago. I'm conversational. I guess I'll talk, but I'm not
That's
fluent.
dope. Okay.
And then I decided to go into real estate. Started making real estate videos. Got super heavy into real estate investing.
Word.
And then now I'm a podcaster.
That's what's up.
Yeah. Audience getting messed up? Mic's a bit too high, right? I noticed. I'm like, how much of his face is it covering?
Oh, word. Okay, bet.
Perfect. See, that's why Mo's
There
here.
we go.
See,
Let's
that-
go,
that's why-
producer Mo.
Yeah, that's why we need him.
Big ups, big ups.
That's why you need somebody.
Yo, that's
like,
staying in the cut just because you did that, man. Good job, Mo. Get that TV time.
Let's go.
Let's go.
Yeah. Yes, sir.
No, similarly, man. I was out of college. I was doing like a 9 to 5 and got into real estate because I wanted to be self-employed. But then I got more into the real estate investing side and I bought a unit kind of thing. And I never ended up finishing. And then content creation kind of started working.
Yeah. I mean, real estate is just one of those things where, you know, you can come in and out of it once you start understanding what the business is, right? Like when you start making more money, like it's always a vehicle for you to, you know, like put that in towards create more opportunity
Yeah,
and,
for sure.
you know, create generational wealth. But yeah, no, my kind of story getting into real estate was just super random. Like I told you, I was previously in the corporate world. I was working as a product manager. You know what I mean? Like come from like a family that worked really hard. So not being successful was like a non-option, right? And previously during that time period, like when I was like in high school, I thought the path to success was get that coveted, college degree and then go get your 6-figure income salary and then boom, you're successful, right? And I did that. I got a degree in electrical engineering from the University of Washington. Immediately afterward, I worked at, like some like big companies like Microsoft. Later, I consulted for T-Mobile via Accenture. And then decided, in 2016, I'm like, man, this is not what I want to be doing. Once I paid off my loans, once I had a little bit of money in my pocket, I felt like, this isn't it. And there's just a lot more to life. And during that time period, it became very clear to me that I had to go down some sort of entrepreneurship path. And I didn't know what to get into, right? But I was reading a lot of books about a bunch of different entrepreneurs and successful people. And I felt like a common theme with all of them was real estate. And I was like, you know what? I want to get into business. I don't know what product or service to launch. And real estate is like this big box that everybody lives in, works in, eats in, does
Shits
everything.
in.
We're in real estate right now. So I figured, okay, you know what? Maybe I don't have to reinvent the wheel. I just got to figure out, what my lane is within that. And familiarize myself at that time with a concept called wholesaling real estate. Are y'all familiar with what that is? Yeah. So I wholesaled my first deal. It took like 6 months. Literally, I quit my job and then decided I'm gonna do real estate full time. It took me 6 months to make my first dollar in real estate.
That's crazy.
But it was like a $14,000 check
That's not bad.
after that 6 months. And then I was like, wow, this is real. I kind of just, manifested this money out of thin air. And then from that point, I got into flipping real estate. And then as I started flipping real estate, I realized I'm paying like an agent some of my commission. And I'm like, man, I should be making that money. So let me get my license to increase my profit margin. So I got my license for that reason. But then I continued investing in real estate and, flipping and things of that nature. And over a course of time, started building a community like around myself, primarily through social media. And then like that real estate license, took its own shape and created its own income, producing opportunities. And now I'm, a full stack in like various different, fields of real estate.
That's sick.
Yeah.
That's crazy how an idea could just turn into a whole freaking business. Right?
Yeah, bro.
He just took advantage of the idea.
Yeah.
Bro, and like it's not even like he's doing it small, bro. You have 50 plus units. So talk to us about how the fuck you acquired 50 plus units.
Yeah, bro. So it started off, that was always the goal, right? When I started doing real estate, the thing is I want to buy real estate. I want to hold real estate. I want to create, positive cash flow, and, use that cash flow to stack up more money to buy real estate, create more cash flow. Like I wanted to get into that cycle. And originally, I didn't have the capital to be able to do that, right? So I started, creating my initial capital by wholesaling real estate and, flipping real estate. You know what I mean? And once I started doing that, over a course of time, I started, building a little bit more capital. And then I decided, all right, you know what? Now it's time to, start acquiring some properties. And over a course of time, like, I would always be looking for off-market deals and certain deals that just came my way. I slowly but surely just started, buying them, renovating them. I would sell some of them, but then some of them I would keep. And that just kind of continued over time. And when I say 50 plus units, it's actually interesting because most of those units come from one building that me and 3 other partners acquired in 2021.
Right.
So it's actually it's a 49 unit hotel. Yep, it's a 49 unit hotel that we repurposed and have an organization bulk lease out the entire thing. But then I also own a few different houses within the greater Seattle area as well.
That's sick.
So more or less you're doing the Burr method.
Absolutely.
To kind of recycle. And then what's like the market like over there? Like what's like an average, like what are you burring? Like what are you buying something for if you want to do a burr?
It really depends on what part of the geography within the greater Seattle area you're at. But, prices can range anywhere from like 500,000 to, like 4 million, 5 million.
Yeah.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Yeah. So there's, depending on like you entering the luxury market over there, right?
For sure.
But I think like the average, property within, my county is around like $700,000 to $900,000.
And you guys are burring these and getting cash flow after or no?
Yeah. So a lot of the properties I did in the past, I've been able to burr and cash flow.
Nice.
And sometimes cash flowing isn't even necessarily the best or the most,
prioritized
option, just because sometimes you can't cash flow, but sometimes you can buy a property where you're just getting significant equity in it, right? And even if I have to, put up like a few $100s a month, $1,000 a month to maintain the mortgage,
getting access to so much more
right?
money.
I have access to this capital at a different point when I need to make a different investment.
Sure.
You feel me?
Chess.
Yeah, it really is just chess, bro,
chess.
at the end of the day. And, the whole game is, keep making income so you can, maintain obviously like, your bills and your lifestyle. But at the same time, make sure that you have enough set aside so that when the right opportunity comes your way, you have the capital to be able to buy stuff.
Sick.
And it doesn't have to be your own capital sometimes too, right? You can
OPM.
OPM, you know what I mean? Like hard money loans, like private money.
Loan sharks.
All that, yeah.
Robbing banks.
Robbing banks, yeah. But the thing is, what's a funny thing about banks though, is if you rob them, you go to jail. But if they rob you, it's business.
That's a good one.
That's a good way of looking at it. That's a great way of looking at it. Yeah. Okay, now talk us through the journey. How do you go from being this, more or less successful real estate agent, real estate investor, to now making music?
It wasn't like I did real estate and then made music. I kind of started around the same time. I kind of started doing both of those things at the same time. So yeah, back in 2016. End of 2015, beginning of 2016 time period was when I decided, what the corporate world isn't for me, right? And I was going through some, personal things in my life at that time that, furthered the vision and clarified the vision. It made me realize, man, I can't be in the corporate world. I always had a passion for music, ever since I was a kid, ever since moving to America, right? I learned how to speak English through listening to hip hop.
Oh, shit.
Right? So there was always like a deep passion that I had for hip hop music. There was a deep passion that I had for words, but I always felt that, if I pursued a music career, I wouldn't be able to be successful. I wouldn't be able to, get that job at Microsoft, be a consultant at Accenture. So I always kind of put that in the back burner, right? And I remember the specific time where I was working at Microsoft, and this is a time where I hadn't established myself as an artist yet. But, I made like an Instagram like freestyle post or whatever, right? And I get to work the next day, and one of my coworkers who follows me, he's like, hey, you got time to rap, but you don't got time to, finish that report or whatever.
And I was like, loser.
No, yeah, for real. But that hit me really hard that it's like, you know what? I am going to be criticized in this environment, right? If I'm making music, like whether I like it or not, whether I find it fair or not, I'm going to be judged in that environment under their, context. Right? Because most people don't follow that. So for me, it was very important to be able to fully be myself. So that I made that a priority, right?
Okay.
So when I, decided to, quit my job and pursue entrepreneurship full time, I actually wrote a mission statement. And my mission statement is Vozhi is a company that integrates real estate investing with culture, music, and technology to inspire positive change in the community. Y'all know what Ikigai is by any chance?
Who is?
Ikigai, it's like a thought exercise where I'm gonna butcher it's like 4 different Venn diagrams, and like where these Venn diagrams intersect is like your purpose. It's like what you're good at, what you can get paid for, what the world needs, and I'm forgetting the last one. But I went through.
I think it's how to give back or something, right?
Yeah. I can't remember the exact 4, but you can look it up afterward. But I went through that exercise, and then I found, after going through that thought process, like I found the things in the middle. I want to be an entrepreneur. I want to be able to do what I want, but at the same time, I want to be able to make money. And not only do I want to make money, I want to thrive financially. Because I figure, that's the only way in this, climate that you can be respected.
For sure.
Not by everybody, but certain access points require you to be financially well off. So that was important. So during that time period, I made a conscious effort, right, to include like fully being able to express myself along my journey. So I figured, all right, you know what? I'm going to narrow down my focus to 3 things. Real estate to make money, music to express myself, and giving back to the community as best as I can. And I'm going to make a brand around these 3 things. So that was the intention from the beginning. Now, mind you, originally when I first kind of began this journey with these 3 things in mind, my primary focus was still real estate because I had to make money.
Yeah.
I'm coming from an environment where I was making good money and now I'm making 0 money. So I had to, quickly get back on my feet. And once I started making a little bit of money with real estate, it just hit me like, wow, I did this without, other people's help. So if I fully, put myself out there and make music, nobody can tell me shit. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it was from that point that I decided, you know what, I'm gonna keep putting myself out there and see what happens. And then it really just started off with, you know, just me rapping and putting myself out there on Instagram. And then, you know, that started creating a little bit of a following from people that really liked the music, right? And that really liked what I had to say. And then interestingly enough, that actually started helping my real estate business.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I would post like a Instagram freestyle of me rapping, and then the next day I might, you know, post like a house that I have listed for sale or something, right? And then like someone that came into my profile because they liked the rap
Saw that you do real
saw
estate
that I
as
got
well.
a, you know, a house listed, and then they DM me being like, "Yo, Vozhi, I really like that, you know, freestyle that you did. Boom, boom, boom. By the way, that house that you got listed, like I want to make an offer on it."
Yeah.
And then that was kind of the epiphany, like, you know, like everything clicked at once type
Crazy.
of moment where I'm like, wait a second, I'm building a brand that is authentic to me, and there are people that like me for that specific purpose, but they don't discredit my ability as a real estate investor or a real estate broker. Because I mean, what are they listening to? I mean, like the person, my client that might buy a house from me, or an investor that might work with me, they're still listening to hip hop music.
Yeah, for sure.
Yo, that's actually gold what you just said, and I want to highlight that real quick because that story is fucking perfect. I think a lot of realtors, especially, fucking don't understand the point of
being a human
being
being.
a human, right?
Yeah,
So a lot of
big time.
realtors, and we see a couple in our city too, in Toronto.
Yeah.
But when you're a real estate agent, right, post whatever the fuck you do. If you like soccer, if you like basketball, post that shit. Because even when I was doing real estate or just building my brand, a lot of the times I would just post the most randomest things. And like some people would be like my older realtor friends would be like, "Yo, like why are you posting this? It's not real estate." And I'm like, "Buddy, like fucking, like are you like
It's real life."
Think." And then a lot of the times you'll get that DM just like how you said it. Because what is sales? A lot of people, someone wants to buy from you if they relate to you. So if you post, let's just say a jersey, let's say it's a Kobe Bryant, or no, in my case it was a Ronaldinho jersey. Shout out to Ronaldinho, go. And someone replied to me that story, and they're saying, "Oh, sick AC Milan Ronaldinho jersey." And then, like you said, by the way, and then they'll do their ask because now
It's a
they're
good
comfortable
icebreaker
with you.
too, yeah.
Exactly.
Absolutely,
They feel like
bro.
they know you, they relate to you, and it's just
Instead of just
way
being
better that
cold in
way.
your DM, like, "Yo, I saw this listing, 100%."
But no one's gonna do that,
Yeah,
fam.
everyone also wants to just connect.
Yeah. You know, and a lot of these older guys, like they didn't have a platform like Instagram, or, you know, they didn't have an ability to showcase various other aspects of their life. All they had was, this is my career, this is all I can market.
For sure.
You know what I mean? But we're living in a completely different time where
So different.
if you're just a robot online, people are going to assume you're a robot in real life.
Exactly.
For sure.
And
But
yo,
the other perspective too is like, think about it. You as like a consumer, someone who's buying a home, right? What do you want? The pencil neck real estate agent who's barely talking to you, or like the guy you've been seeing on Instagram?
The cool guy and
you know,
the-
he looks
fucking-
cool. He has a cool car. He's like singing and shit.
Cool
Like,
God, man,
yeah, I
you
want
know?
to be around this guy, right? Because that's how the thought process is.
Yeah, absolutely. No, you said something that I really relate with, and this was like a very conscious effort that I put in, right? At the end of the day, you know, me doing real estate, you know, anybody doing any sort of business, it's sales, right?
Yeah.
But who do you buy from? You buy from
person you
people you
trust.
trust.
Yeah.
Right? You buy from people you trust. How do you build that trust? Through authentic connection.
Yeah.
You feel me? And then, so when you think about it that way, you start realizing, all right, outside of this thing that I'm trying to push, what are some ways people can connect with me? And for me, it kind of happened organically because this wasn't like an initial thought process. I was just thinking, I'm gonna do all this together and whatever happens, happens. But then I realized, oh shit, this is the way to go about it. And I really relate to that point. But yeah, but the third thing too, right, is like community give back. So back in Seattle, I have an event series that I run with my partners from a group called the Up and Up. And the Up and Up is like a podcast similar to this. They bring guests within the greater Seattle area and beyond, and highlight their stories and document their journeys, right?
Dope.
And originally, I actually got on their podcast in 2018, and that was the first time I ever met them.
Okay.
Right? So it was like a dope conversation similar to this. And then shortly after that podcast, or actually even during that podcast, we realized we had a lot in common. And then after the podcast, we're like, yo, we got to do something for the city because we have so much passion for, entrepreneurship and creativity. And Seattle's a great place, but it doesn't have like a hub for entrepreneurs and creatives to get together and vulnerably express their journeys, right? So we decided, let's partner together, create an event series called The World Is Yours, where we bring together, entrepreneurs and creatives from the city. We sit them in a circle and we discuss our journeys. And discuss
Like
our
a mastermind
obstacles.
almost.
Mastermind, yeah.
That's sick.
And we have like a very specific workshop that we put them through, a very specific thought conversation, like a set of conversations we put them through, and the goal is for people to walk away feeling inspired and have solutions or like mental clarity towards where they're trying to go.
Yeah.
And we've been running this consistently now since 2019.
That's so
Yeah.
dope.
So even through the pandemic, you guys continue.
So the pandemic was a short period of time where we had to pause.
Okay,
but then right when
Right
things
back.
started opening up, we were back at it.
in the game.
But now we're consistent. Every first Thursday of the month, we run that program in Seattle.
Pretty sick.
That's so
but
fucking sick.
but yeah, bro, like my main 3 things are real estate, make music, and give back to the community as best as I can.
That's
So,
sick.
yeah, we're gonna have to go to Seattle and pull up.
Yeah, no,
Yeah,
y'all
for
have
real,
to.
for real.
In fact, I actually did a World Is Yours in Toronto in 2019.
Oh really?
Oh,
Yeah.
Sick.
Yeah.
Maybe we might have
you
to
forgot
help
that
you.
Nardwar moment.
Yeah, I didn't get that one. Shit.
Yeah, for real. Regrets. Maybe we might have to host one down here.
Yeah, we
Yeah,
should.
no,
set something
honestly,
up.
bro, if y'all want to like link
We'll
up and do
co-host it
something-
with you.
Boom, there you go. That's,
Boom,
this,
there
this
you
is
go.
how it's done.
You'll bring Rospan Ravi.
Authenticity.
We'll
What's
bring
up?
Rospan Ravi.
Boom, let's make it happen.
Let's
There you
go.
go.
Yeah.
Yo, can you say Teriam Dane?
There I'm done.
Teriam Dana. Sole Papon.
That's all I know, man. I know
Yo,
Teriam Dane, Amasatyam, Monroe.
Monroe?
Who taught you Amma Satyam?
Right? I used to work in a kitchen with a bunch of Tamil uncles, man.
Oh,
Oh,
and they'd be-
Anna too. I know Anna too.
You call them Anna?
I could call him Anna. We don't talk about that anymore.
Yeah, we'll talk about that more. Yo, it's no jokes. I'm like, because we have a lot of Tamil guests on, right? Like a lot of the bigger Tamil influencers or
Yeah.
whatever. Even in the world, like we had a bunch of UK guys, we had like
Okay,
Montreal
dope.
people on our podcast, and it's so
Yeah.
funny because this guy's basically he's like slowly but surely turning into a Tamil person.
You look Tamil, bro, low key. What
Thank
are
you, bro. India.
Like, do you know what part of India?
Yeah, Hyderabad.
Oh, okay. You speak Telugu?
No, my parents know very little bit. They came when they're pretty young, though.
Oh, okay, well, you speak
Yeah.
Urdu then?
I speak
at home?
Urdu. Yeah,
Okay,
yeah. But a lot of my aunts and uncles are still back in Hyderabad. They speak Telugu. All the people that work with them usually Telugu speaking too.
Yeah, yeah.
And it's
yeah.
it's like the second language. Like how we learn French here in school.
Yeah.
They have like obviously not even Urdu in school. English and then Telugu.
Yeah, Telugu is like the main language there.
Yeah.
And then I think like the Muslim community there is like
Speaks like Urdu.
Urdu, yeah.
Exactly. Exactly.
Yeah, that's dope though, man.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wait, talk about that. Like dabbling in the Tamil community, because we've obviously been recently experiencing that. It's been a great supportive community.
Yeah.
And then you as an artist and a real estate agent, how much has that helped your businesses?
Definitely a lot. But it's interesting. I feel like, so to give you perspective, right? So, I think a lot of the, Tamil people y'all interview are probably Elam Tamil folks, right? And my family
Yeah.
comes from Tamil Nadu. Okay?
Oh.
Yeah. So I don't even know if you knew that.
And I didn't.
Yeah. So my
What the
family
fuck?
comes from Tamil Nadu.
Or just for
Okay,
some
can you
perspective,
give
what
me
is
a history
this?
lesson?
Yeah, so
Like
I mean,
another side
Elam-
of Sri Lanka?
So I mean, so Elam Tamil people are Tamil people from Sri Lanka,
Okay.
and a lot of the ones in Toronto originally came to this country as refugees. I'm
Yeah.
sure your parents came the same way, right? And then there are Tamil people from the country of India,
Yes, yes.
right?
Tamil Nadu.
That have their own state called Tamil Nadu,
Okay.
and I mean they're geographically literally like right there, right next
Okay,
to each
okay.
other. But it's still technically 2 different countries, but it's still same culture. We listen to the same music, same
Yeah.
language.
I think a little bit of the verbiage is like somewhat different though.
Yeah,
no?
yeah. Some
Like,
verbiage is different. Like I say pesuon, y'all say kade pinga. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah, and then I say like okarran, you say iruken.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
And you guys are the ones pumping out the Tamil movies.
Yeah, so I would say like 95% of the mainstream media, music, and like movies that are consumed by all diaspora Tamils comes from Tamil Nadu, particularly a city called Chennai.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, and I actually got a chance to spend the month of December as well as half of January and like last December and half of this January and a little bit of this February over there. Kind of, really deep diving into the music community over there and seeing what's up out there.
Is this the same Chennai that has the Chennai Express, or is that a different Chennai in India?
You're talking about the movie Chennai Express?
Yeah.
I actually saw that movie recently, and it has nothing to do with Chennai, so I don't know
There's
why.
no train going to Chennai.
I think no, it is. Yeah, that movie. Yeah, it's like they're saying. I think it's a train that goes
Yeah,
to
it goes-
Chennai.
yeah.
But they're referring to the same city.
Same city. Okay,
Yo,
so
so Tama, you went to India. So we've been talking about that's funny. We've been talking about how like we have a pretty big brown audience, right? Let's just say brown for the sake of whatever.
Yeah.
How is it like for you? Like, did you just go there and fucking blow up? Like, did everyone there show you love? Like, how was it like?
Yeah, bro. Like, I mean, I didn't. My goal is not like my goal never is to be like, oh, I want to blow up. That's not my goal. My goal is
Sure.
I want to impact as many people as possible. And if blowing up is a consequence of that, I'm happy. But you feel me? But if someone's like, hey, here, I'm gonna give you, like this, and this, and let you blow up, but you have to do it this way, I'm still gonna say no because, like I said, my goal isn't to blow up. The goal is to do it my way.
Okay, sick.
So, with that said, recently, so I would say like not recently, actually, take it back. Around 2018, there was an event in Dallas called FETNA that I went to. It's like Federation of like North American Tamils.
Oh,
right.
okay.
And it's like this huge like Tamil like conference that happens. And at that event, there is a big time Tamil hip hop artist like who was kind of like a special guest over there. I don't know if you know of Hip Hop Tamila.
Yeah, you made a song with him.
Yep.
Yeah.
And so, and that happened due to the organic relationship that was built with him at that event.
Sick.
So I got a chance to meet up with him there, introduce myself. I'm like, hey, what's up? I'm Vozhi. I do this, and this. I make music, and that's it. No ask or anything.
That song has like 1 million views, right?
Yeah, I think it has over 1 million now, which is crazy. I'm grateful
sick.
for it. Yeah.
That is sick.
Yeah. No, but he's big time, bro. He's like big time. But yeah, so him and I, we tapped in, and he was tapped into my journey. Like, we're just Instagram friends. He'd be watching my stories. Like, I would congratulate him when things happen. He would congratulate me when things happen in my life, and he just kept it real. And then over a course of time, he asked me, yo, like, I really like what you're doing. Like, I respect you as an entrepreneur, because he's an entrepreneur as well.
Okay.
And he's like, yo, you want to do the song together?
That's sick.
And I was like, absolutely.
So you didn't really go for the ask.
No, he hit
That's
me.
sick. That's sick.
Yeah, which is dope. And yeah, that song, like he gave me an open verse. I did my thing on it, sent it back to him, and then a little bit later, he's like, I'm gonna drop it like December, and I was like, okay, cool. By the way, my birthday's in September 12th, so if you want to give me a little birthday
shut the
gift,
fuck up! Your birthday's September 12th.
Yeah,
that's my birthday.
What?
No
That's
fucking
crazy.
way.
Yeah, September 12th, bro.
That's actually crazy.
What?
He's not capping. He's being that serious.
That's crazy.
What the fuck?
That's crazy.
It's so random.
That's crazy.
Okay, my continue.
That's wild. Okay, wow.
I had to interrupt you. I was like,
You're like, wait. He said September 12th.
I was like, did I hear that right?
Hey, Virgo power. You
Yeah,
feel me?
literally. What the fuck?
Yes, sir. That's crazy.
That's jokes.
Yeah, no, there's some connection we got. Yeah.
God.
No, but yeah, so like I randomly, I told him, my birthday is September 12th, so if you want to give me a little birthday gift, and he's like, say less, I'm gonna drop that song that day. Damn. So he dropped it on my birthday last year, which is dope, which is like a great gift from, the hip hop gods or whatever. But so that happened. Sick. And then just over time, bro, like I think, so me doing music, like you asked me about like the Tamil community.
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
So going back to that, when I started making music, like I had no idea what was gonna happen. I had no idea who's gonna consume it. Like I'm a brown kid in America. It's like, you know what I mean? Like it's like I didn't really have like a set audience defined or anything. And when I was originally like, putting myself out there as an artist, a lot of my music was in English specifically, right? Mm-hmm. But then I noticed that a lot of the people that were like commenting and liking and, followers that were starting to come in, like a good chunk of them were diaspora Tamil people. And I found that interesting. Right. And I'm like, like maybe there's something to this. And I just didn't think much of it. And I just kept it going. And yeah, so around that time period, I got a chance to meet Hip Hop Tamila. And then I kept making music, kept doing my thing. And then other Tamil artists that are, doing, big things also started following me and started tapping into the journey.
That's it.
And then I started connecting with them. And it was just on a note of, hey, I'm doing my thing. They're doing their thing. Let's, stay in touch and keep doing our thing. And that's kind of how it happened. And then over a course of time, I started building some real close relationships with these folks. And I feel like there's a whole bunch of relationships that are, yet to be, shown to the public in how they're going to be fruitful. Yeah. But there's a lot of stuff in the works. And along that pathway, right, I got a chance to meet like Terukural Arivu. I don't know if you know who that is. Yep.
I know who that is, yeah.
Like the dude who did Enjoy Enjami. It's, I got a chance to meet him when he came to Seattle. It was actually a super organic connection that we did. So within the greater Seattle area, I'm one of the only Tamil rappers. I think in America, actually, there isn't too many Tamil rappers. If you Google Tamil American rapper, I come up first on Google. Yeah, which is crazy.
SEO.
Yeah, but like, and I no, like, no, nothing paid, nothing. It's literally just
for sure.
It's organic, and it's
That's
crazy.
your IG name too, right? Isn't it Tamil American rapper?
Yeah,
yeah.
So it's and I kind of took that on because I'm just like, there isn't too many people in America that are doing this. So that's the difference between, I feel like, Elam Tamils and like Tamil Nadu Tamils, because Elam Tamils, they were forced to leave their country.
Yeah.
Tamil Nadu Tamils, they chose to leave their country.
Yeah.
So a lot of the people that chose to go to America, they're going there to survive. Everybody's going to survive, but they came to, be a part of a system that's not going to kick them out, right? So they're very careful about how they operate. So they try to be like, good model citizens and try to not, break the mold in a lot of ways. Yeah. I mean, don't get me wrong. There's a whole bunch of people, like no disrespect to any, people out there.
Oh, for sure.
But I would say like a good majority kind of sticks to what they know. And And within the greater Seattle area, so I'm kind of like a unique individual doing what I do. So when Arive was in America, there was like a group within the greater Seattle area that wanted to bring him out to Seattle and do an event.
Okay.
And then they hit me. That group is like, hey, you're the only, Tamil like rapper guy. So do you want to do an event around him, because you do a bunch of events and you do a bunch of community related things. So that they organically linked us up, and then that turned into like a like a legit brotherhood. And the fruits of that are yet to be seen by the public.
That's crazy.
Yeah, and then
what did you say that guy's name was again?
Arive.
Is that the same? That's Tamil actor?
No. Who are you talking about?
The guy who went to dinner with Robin?
Oh, Adarva. You're talking about Adarva.
Okay, sorry, my bad.
I don't know who that is. Like, I'm actually super not tapped in with like a bunch of people, but I know the people I know.
Okay. No, you know Adarva, the actor.
Bro, don't embarrass me. I don't.
Do you watch Tamil movies?
I do, but like maybe I know him by face. I'm way better with faces than names.
You definitely know Adarva.
Yeah, okay. Yeah. I'll look him up after this.
100% you know.
Yeah. Shout out Adarva. You know what I mean? Yeah.
You had a good PR guy.
Yeah.
He's media trained.
sorry to cut you off, bro. My bad.
No, you're good. But no, it's things like that, bro. And then just to share some like dope things, right? There's another artist called like Afro and Asal Kolar within the greater, Tamil diaspora community. They're actually from Chennai. And Asal was somebody... I still don't know who that is, bro. But shout out Adarva.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
Shit.
Thanks for letting me know, though. I mean, I'll tap in.
You'll tap in, yeah.
You got to text me a good movie of his to check out.
I'm not going to lie. I don't really watch his movies.
Damn, bro. Adarva.
But shout out to you, bro.
No, shout out Adarva. We'll tap in. We'll tap in. But going back to what I was saying, so like through just kind of me putting myself out there, there's a bunch of Tamil artists that started, tapping into what I'm doing.
For sure.
I feel like and not to toot my own horn, but it's just, I'm coming from a place of, hey, I love making music. I genuinely feel that I have a lot of talent in making music, but this is not my this is not my source of income. And I made that very clear from the very beginning of my journey. And I think a lot of the artists that are tapped into what I'm doing are intrigued off of that simple fact. So kind of along this pathway, I met a bunch of different artists. And one of the artists I happened to meet was this dude named Asal Kolar. And, he was someone that's just super dope. I got introduced to him through this artist named Afro, who's already popping within the Tamil, media space and, Hollywood space. And so he was already doing his thing. He introduces me to Afro, and then they made this like track together that he let me hear. And I was just mind blown by this track, right? And I got a chance to like chop it up with Asal. And then he was like, yo, I'm trying to make this music video. And, it's kind of like, I'm trying to like figure out a budget for it. And yeah, I want to make a video, but I don't have the budget in with me right now or whatever.
Right.
So I was like, shit, I'll take care of it. Because I really believe in that song.
Damn.
You know what I mean? And, I'm honored to have been a co-producer for that music video. And now that music video blew up to do like 50 plus million views.
Wow.
Yeah, I think it might be at 50 million if I'm not mistaken. But
so did you make your money back from the investment or?
So no, bro, I actually didn't ask for money.
Okay,
it was just purely off the relationship, just out of love.
Sick.
That's so sick.
And I feel like, and now this dude is like a legitimate star. He was in the show Big Boss after that.
Oh.
Yeah.
Sick.
And
that's so fucking sick.
He's doing his thing. I'm not saying like he blew up because he was gonna blow up regardless. But the fact that the universe set it up so that I got to like tap in with him before he blew up, and I got it, like if you go on that video, my name's there and all that, right?
That's sick.
Like the fact that that was able to happen was just from setting that Ikigai mission statement early on.
That's sick.
You feel me? And bro, I think so. Going back to that mission statement. Going back to that mission statement, right? I say Vozhi is a company that integrates real estate investing with culture, music, and technology to inspire positive change in the community. And I've learned over time to look at all of my actions in life and apply it to that mission statement. If it applies to that mission statement, I'm on the right path. If it doesn't apply to that mission statement, it's not for me. You feel me? I'm looking at this podcast. It applies to that mission statement. I'm trying to inspire positive change in the community. I want people to know what my message is, what my story is, so that the kid that has a similar ambition but doesn't have the right, mentor or guide can hopefully look at what we're talking about, find some inspiration, and take it to the next level.
Heck.
But yeah, bro. So over a course of time, building these relationships have paid their dividends, and the real dividends are yet to come. You know what I mean? And the real relationships.
Planting those trees.
Yeah, all I'm doing right now is planting seeds, planting the trees, and you know what they end up becoming, God knows.
God knows.
Yeah, that's beautiful, bro. That's like literally the compound effect. Like
for real.
all these little things just going through, and
Bro, I love the mindset behind all this. Now I want to ask you a more serious question.
Yeah.
What does success mean to you?
ooh,
Success means being able to do what I want, when I want, and
okay, bro. Okay, are you nardwaring me now? That's like a literally quote in my book.
really,
Yeah.
You got a book?
Yeah.
So you're an author. I'm not an author yet. Okay.
Literally, the quote is, to me, success is being able to do whatever I want whenever I want to do it. And
Yeah.
you literally just fucking said the same thing.
I mean, that's
It's a
September
universal
12th,
thing,
bro.
man.
That's
I've
crazy.
heard many
September
people say
12th,
that.
Virgo
No,
boys.
but bro, he literally said the exact same way I wrote in my book.
Really? I didn't read the book before. I'm just, you know what I'm saying? No, but that's
That's catch me off guard right now, bro. You guys like my twin or something.
it's low key, right?
That's
Same
that's
birthday,
crazy.
same quote.
Yeah.
God.
Word.
Yeah, no, but to answer that question even deeper, bro, it's like, you know, like this isn't my quote, but I've heard success is a continuous realization of a worthy goal. Right? Ooh. Success is a continuous realization of a worthy goal. That means it's about the journey, not the destination or distance. You know what I mean? And it's about continuously incrementing on what you got going on.
Yeah.
And expanding it in a way that's authentic to you to begin with, right? You see artists all the time. You see business people, you see successful people, quote unquote, that were a certain way in their past, and then now they're something completely different.
Yeah.
And you wouldn't even be able to recognize who they are now compared to who they were then.
Oh, for sure.
And from an exterior perspective, they might, you know, appear successful with money and, you know, cars, clothes, houses, whatnot. But then you just know by looking at certain people that it's, you know what I mean? It's like their level of, you know, success or their goals are constantly fluctuating.
Yes.
So to me, you know, success isn't just like material things, right? It's first internal.
Yep.
Like what does it mean to you to be happy? You know what I mean? And being able to do exactly what you want when you want, you know, it could be different things for different people. You know what I mean? For some people, it's I need to be a millionaire.
Oh yeah.
You know, and that's what success is. For some people, it's I need to spend extra time with my daughter, and that's what success is. So yeah, bro, I think it's about having a clear identification of who you are, and then applying that to your life. What about y'all? I mean, I know what success means to you.
Bro, honestly, for me, success is obviously to be able to do whatever you want, but more than that, to always feel fulfilled with the things I'm doing my day to day. You know, because I've had points in my life where I was making so much money, but I wasn't really loving what I was doing, and I wasn't proud of the outcome, right? Which was fine. It wasn't anything illegal or nothing, but it you know,
just to clarify,
Wait, this isn't human trafficking?
No, crazy. But
he beat those allegations.
crazy. But it's to be able to produce and just do things that are deeply fulfilling. You know, and I find that in the work we do with the podcast, or even some of my YouTube videos, where you're looking back and I see it more of like a little piece of art, kind of almost like as an artist, we'll go back to his old music. That's what I'll put out, and that's what success is to me. To be doing something that you're passionate about and it really fulfills your inner desires.
Yo, and even to add to that, I think more recently for me, I really want to be able to fucking travel more often. Like I love just being somewhere for like ridiculous amounts of time and just existing there. I don't know. There's some sort of beauty about soaking in culture from different places.
Oh, 100%.
Absolutely.
So, yeah.
No, I think to me, bro, this is the definition of success too. It's like, boom, they asked me to come out here. I'm out here. I didn't have to answer to anybody. I know it's in the middle of a work week, but I have the opportunity to be like, I'm out here. You know what I mean? Like they call me, I want to go to Toronto, I'm here. You know what I mean? But if I was in the corporate world, it would be like, don't get me wrong, there's people that are successful in the corporate world and have it.
Sure.
But you know, I wouldn't necessarily have the same privilege. I would have to ask somebody and, and you know, get their permission.
Oh, for sure.
And for me, like those constraints don't define success. For me personally.
For sure. Well, they're in a cubicle, you're in a flight. You know? You tell me what success means.
Crazy.
Yo, let's actually talk about that, right? Because when it comes to music, right, there's obviously levels to the shit, right? There's like the local artist who just gets their local shows and cool. You know, there's nothing wrong with that. That's sick, right?
Yeah.
Everyone starts from somewhere, but you've made it to that level where you're actually getting flown out to different cities or different countries. How is that like, fucking just being flown out to different places? Like, what is that lifestyle like?
Bro, it's beautiful. And I'm not gonna say like it's happened, you know, like so many times that I'm like used to it or anything. But I mean, the fact that it's happening,
it's fucking sick.
And the fact that there are people that believe in me enough and believe in my journey and my music enough to take me seriously and place me amongst people that are doing this full time, right? To me, it's a huge blessing, bro. And I feel that it's something that I'm highly grateful for, but also not surprised because I have been putting in that work.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I have been constantly seeking to improve myself, not just as an individual, but also as an artist.
Oh, for sure.
Also musically. And I think through this conscious effort that I've been putting in, there is some energy that's being put out that people are able to receive.
Yeah.
And I'm truly honored and grateful. And, I don't take this for granted.
Oh, for sure.
1 minute. Like being out here, like I don't take this for granted 1 minute. And I hope it just continues to grow, bro.
No, bro. I love that, man. And just to add to what you're saying is it's so interesting where when these opportunities come to you, but you put in the work and you deserved it, it's so much different than when you're just naively, you create music and you're like, oh, my goal is to hit the Grammys, right? And in my personal life, for me, like always the goal is to be a YouTuber. And I remember like I would just think about one day when you're gonna get the silver plaque and the gold plaque, and it'd be like this moment where it was always just felt an inch away, right? Versus now, I just put in the work, the effort, and I know that I'm planting the seeds where this is gonna be coming inevitably. As more so just soaking up the moment, right? And like that, I feel like that's the difference. Is like when you actually put in the work, these opportunities are gonna come your way, right? Well, that's back to you producing that video, or you just being the guy. Like that's what's getting you all these opportunities. Because there's so many people doing it, man.
Bro, and even Robert Kiyosaki, he says, instead of saying I can't afford it, ask yourself how can I afford it? And I think the best version of changing your verbiage is instead of asking when am I gonna be able to do this, or sorry, okay, let me try that again, but in English, okay? My bad, guys. I just came to Canada, but it's not if. Okay, you know what I'm not even gonna say it. I fucked up already.
No, you said it right. No, you're going.
It's not. If I become a YouTuber, it's when I become a YouTuber.
Exactly.
It's not if I become famous, it's when I become famous. So I think it's just even changed that. Wow, I just had like a sick clip and I just fucked it up.
No, bro, I really vibe with that though. Like on that note, right? Like I'm a huge believer in like manifesting and positivity and all of that, right? But then there's law of attraction. And then there's a law of putting in that work. The law of putting in that work will allow you to manifest your desires quicker. You feel me? Sure. But then it starts with, real positive thoughts. I think like those are the things you can control, right? Like the one thing you can control is how you think and what you think, right? So why not just think the most glorious thoughts about yourself? Sure. Why not think the best possible thoughts about yourself? And then that's going to translate into how you speak.
For
right?
Sure.
Like even like when I'm speaking to people, I do my best to not use negative language. You know what I mean? Even like I do my best also not to apologize when I don't have to. You know what I mean? Some people are like, oh, I'm so sorry I'm late. You can change that to, hey, thank you so much for your patience. You know what I mean? Like these things. And I think like when you start using, language, not only with other people, but with yourself on how you treat yourself and how you define yourself, that's gonna translate to your actions.
For sure.
And then like action compounding over time is gonna create results.
For sure.
And then those results is gonna give you the confidence to give you the right thoughts, which is gonna give you the right words, right action, results, back to right thoughts. And then it's now a positive feedback loop.
Exactly.
That you're in. You feel me? And I'm not gonna like sit here and claim like I'm an expert, positivity guy or manifester or, any of that. But I've noticed this, thought cycle, this action cycle has created, results in my life that I'm proud of and results that I wouldn't have imagined,
for sure.
Years ago.
For sure.
Me, starting to do this. And bro. And like luck, people say, right? It's opportunity meeting preparation.
Right?
Big time. You prepare, you consistently put in that work, then boom, you're going to be able to, make something happen. It's literally statistics, right? You just like it's numbers game at the end of the day.
Yeah. There's another thing is like it's all probability. And even to piggyback on what you were saying, thoughts turn into beliefs and beliefs turn into your reality. So if you're already telling yourself, oh, I can't do this or oh, this is hard, well, all right, okay, and
well that's too. But also a big thing too is your input is your output, right? So to ask you a question, what's your personal circle like? Are you around just like-minded individuals all the time?
Absolutely.
And how? And can you put this in a way where you can frame it for the viewer? How could they put themselves around the right people?
Ooh. Man, that's a really interesting question because a lot of the times, right, the people that are in your life that might not be conducive to where you're trying to get to aren't people you can necessarily get rid of. Sometimes it might be your mom. It might be your dad. It might be your,
sure.
you know, brother, your cousins, like the people that were closest to you. And, you know, my statement or thought to that is sometimes, you know, elevation requires separation. You feel me?
Bars.
Elevation requires separation.
That's bars.
Wow.
Yeah. And
heard
you
that
have to
before.
know who to separate yourself from. But that doesn't mean separate forever.
Yeah.
But just separate enough so that,
Temporarily.
you know, their mentality isn't going to be latched on to your mentality. And a lot of the times, bro, people are speaking not from a place of negativity also. They're speaking from a place of what their experience is. You feel me?
Sure, for sure.
And when they're speaking from a place of their experience, right, you have to be able to discern what it is you know and what it is you research and what it is that you see yourself becoming
Yes.
versus what they see
Yes.
yourself at, right?
You gotta feel like problem for them, right?
Yeah, some, you know, I mean, and it's like with certain people, you got to feel a problem for them, and for other people, it's more like, you know what, they just don't know yet.
Yeah.
And I'm asking people to have faith in me, whereas I haven't even proven it yet, right? There's a difference between faith and proof. When you
Yes.
give them proof, they don't have to. You don't have to ask them to believe in you. You just got to see the results.
Yeah.
When you're asking them like, "Hey, I'm about to do this. Believe in me." It's like, yeah, like, you know, they can believe in you if they really love you and they're able to, you know, see you becoming that in the same way. But a lot of the times, all right, think about it this way, right? A lot of the people, like even within my personal circle, right? When I first began, you know, wanting to do this real estate and music and community stuff, right? Like a lot of the people from my past life were like, bro, what do you mean? Like you graduated with a degree in engineering. What do you know about real estate? You know what I mean? Nobody in your family has done real estate. Nobody has been an entrepreneur. You're gonna rap? What? No way. You ain't gonna rap. Like blah blah blah. This and this, that, and the third. And in the beginning, it would actually really hurt me. I'd be like, what? You don't see me like as, you know, who I am, right? But then I realized, right? You know, people put you in a particular box, right? And you're within that box for them. And then when you, as an individual, realize you're much bigger than this box and you have a bigger capacity, right? You see yourself there, but then what you're asking them to do is expand that box, and you're asking them to change their perspective of you, right? And most of the time, people don't like to change. People like to, you know, stick to their own ways, not just with their own activities, but with how they see other people.
Yeah.
And when I learned to not take that personally, which took me years, by the way.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like even with some of my like circle, in the beginning, I was like, man, this person doesn't believe in me. That person doesn't believe in me. I kind of took like a vindictive approach. Like, I'm going to prove them wrong. You know what I mean? And don't get me wrong. I think sometimes that mentality is good.
It's good. Fuel.
To fuel you up and, you know, get you motivated to actually take action. But I've learned that it's way better when you just are the one self-motivating yourself outside of these external influences, because that's something that you want to do more than prove somebody else wrong.
Oh, for sure.
You know what I mean? When your desire to, you know, self-improve, look yourself in the mirror and say, you know what, I'm going to be better than I am today. Like that desire is way more powerful than I'm going to try to prove that person wrong.
Oh, for sure.
Because once you prove that person wrong and you're like, haha, in your face, I told you so. Like the next moment after that it's like, okay, well, what next?
Yeah. You know, that reminds me of a story from the 7 Habits of Highly Effective People.
I love that book.
There was like a little story in the beginning of the book talking about the sun and the cloud. And there was a man wearing a jacket, and the cloud wanted the man to take the jacket off. So he's blowing harsh wind. And as the wind progressively gets harsher and harsher, the man is gripping onto his coat because it's getting windy. He doesn't want to lose his coat. And the sun looks at the cloud and says, sometimes it's easier to just smile. So the sun smiles, it gets warm, and the man takes off his jacket, right? So rather than us always trying to force people to believe in our vision and our goals, just smile, do the actions, and then they themselves will have the realization.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. No, bro, that actually reminds me, I don't know, randomly I thought of this, what you're saying, but I remember when like LeBron was playing for the Miami Heat the first year. The first year, you know, they lost to the Mavericks. I don't know if y'all might have been too young for that time.
The big three.
Yeah. But then, so the first year they lost to the Mavericks, but that was the year everybody was hating on LeBron because he left the Cavaliers. He went to Miami.
The super team with,
you know what I mean? And then they lost, right? And then the year after that, they end up winning the NBA, you know, championship, right? And then like in that interview, like immediately after he wins, he was talking about how, like, you know, like the last year, I was just trying to prove everybody wrong. And I was just, you know, like playing from a place of hate and playing from a place of like aggression. And, you know, that's not me. I play with love because I really love this game. And, you know, I took a completely different approach this year and I ended up winning the championship. And that always stuck to me, that it's like, it's not about, proving others wrong. As fun as it is, don't get me wrong, it's fun to prove people wrong.
For sure.
It's really fun to prove
Those
people wrong.
jaw drop moments are crazy.
Yeah, but then don't sulk in it. You know what I mean? It's like take that feeling, smile internally and move on.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because it's not gonna last.
A great personal exercise that I've been doing over the years is sometimes, especially for like new money or new talent or new to fame, is the natural instinct is arrogance, right? But I always like to I'll think about my role model in my head and go like, how would this person act, right?
Yeah.
Granted, you have a decent role model, right? If it's like Kanye West, it might be worse for you. Yeah. But that's an exercise I've been performing over the years where if I have a moment, it's like, okay, think about how would somebody else in your shoes react. They probably wouldn't gloat too much about this. They probably keep it to yourself. Just be humble, right? Because we always have to check ourselves as humans. I feel like it's so easy to get caught up in the sauce and lost in it with any success, right? Monetary or social media, which is the new digital currency, right?
Yeah.
Just thinking, and because your perception is so much, right? Yeah. The outside world, that's all they see. They don't get to spend the 1 hour, the 2 hours with you on a personal level, right?
Yeah.
Especially with someone like even both of you guys are growing your brand, even myself, and there's so many eyes on you. They're only gonna see those moments. You want to just watch yourself, right?
Yeah.
And just be at a place of love at all times.
Absolutely, bro. I think, self-awareness is probably something, like it's probably the most important thing. We go to school and learn about how to externally satisfy the world.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? How to be, like how to do math, how to write, how to write, how to read, how to do science, and all of these skills. Is to understand the world, understand how the world operates, and to be a productive, contributing member to society. But one thing that is so important is to understand like yourself. You know what I mean? And really like study yourself, really study your thought process. Why am I reacting a certain way? Like why am I getting angry at these situations? Like why does this make me happy? And why does, that make me sad? And once you really start questioning yourself and you are, non-judgmental about what it is that you're truly feeling, I think then you're at a place to actually increment towards being the best version of yourself. You feel me?
Yeah.
And I think when you start doing that, then you start asking yourself the question like, all right, what would the highest, like most best version of myself do in this situation? And I think that's an highly important skill. And I actually think about that often, bro. I always think about like sometimes I get frustrated in the present, like, I'm trying to get here and it didn't work the way I wanted, boom, boom, boom. And then I'm like, do I just not have it in me to get it to that point? And then I tell myself, like, I know this is a crazy thought, but I really tell myself, you know what? The future version of myself has figured this out already. You know what I mean? How do I tap into the intelligence of my future self who has what I want and then reverse engineer from that point? Bro. Speaking of positive thoughts, right? Like you put that thought in your head, boom, like time is irrelevant. It's getting there at one point, one way or another. Like before I did real estate, there was no way I would have thought that I would be doing what I'm doing right now.
For sure.
You know what I mean? But whether it was conscious or not, I looked into the version of myself that's currently sitting here and believed in this man enough to have that past version meet him. And then I'm doing that daily.
Wow.
Feel me?
That's fire.
That's bars, bro.
Fire.
That's fucking bars.
I don't know. Iman Godzi, there used to be an exercise I used to do every night where before I'd go to sleep, I'd visualize my future self. So for me, I would visualize me with a nice car, living in a nice condo. And like I literally just close my eyes and just visualize it. Yeah. And the whole purpose of that is you kind of start to feel what it's like. So then when you're operating on a day-to-day basis, you kind of subconsciously think like, I'm going to get there. So now it's just a matter of, like you said, it's not if, it's when. And you just figure it out.
That's literally what Napoleon Hill says to do, word for word. But they would go, he'd say for an hour a day. You close your eyes and just visualize the life, the car, the girl, the house, and just close your eyes and just do it. And then the second part to that was almost like lucid dreaming with a board of directors of all your biggest idols.
Yeah.
Right? Like, but that's tricky. That's tricky to do. I've yet to try that myself. But
bro, have y'all done affirmations?
Yeah.
Affirmations work. And speaking of affirmations, right? Like I think a lot of my music too, like whether I did it like, consciously or not, like there's a whole bunch of like, raps that I had written from the past where I'm talking about, like things that I want and things that I want in my life that I didn't have at that moment, but I'm just flexing like I had it, right?
Cap rap.
Yeah. It was straight up. It's cap rap, but it's cap rap in a way where I really believe it.
Yeah.
You feel me? And then it turned into fact rap. You feel me? Like the same rap that was cap rap is now fact rap.
Okay, that's so jokes.
Maybe there's a new rap industry term called manifest rap.
Yeah, straight up.
Yo, so I have 2 songs that I made in the past, and one of them I literally said I want to get a Tesla. A year later, I bought it.
Bang. There you
So
go.
like low key, I think we found a new genre.
Yeah, bro. Honestly, bro, I genuinely. I mean, think about it, right? What are affirmations? What are affirmations? You're just saying words that you want to believe.
Yeah.
Right. I mean, and music is the highest, form of of that affirmation. Really, if you think about it, right? Like music is just vibrations, and if you're putting in your intention into that vibration, and you're conscious about it, and you genuinely believe it, it acts even more powerfully than just saying things in the mirror. Don't get me wrong. That's also that is a very vital and powerful way to go about it.
Oh, for sure.
But I look at making music in a similar way.
Oh, for
and
sure.
that's actually like a big reason as to why I'm so conscious of what I say in my music as well. And yeah, bro. No, I think like affirmations are just highly powerful.
For sure.
How you go about it.
If you can like just quickly give us, because we know you're an avid reader as well, can you just quickly give us like your top 3 books of all time?
Obviously, Think and Grow Rich. You already said that.
Sure.
There's so many. Okay, there's another book called Go Giver.
Oh, that's
Have
a
you
good
tapped
one.
in?
It's a very short read, but it's a good
Very
one.
short read, but it
Yeah.
changed my life.
Me too.
And for the audience that are listening, it's about the concept of being a go-getter but flipping it, right? Us in society, especially as men, we're always taught go get it, go get it, go get it, go do that thing. Whatever you want, you go get it. But then we're not taught, provide value.
Yeah.
And that book completely changed my perspective on in any situation, be the person that gives more value.
Yes.
Right? And then eventually the universe is going to circle back and give you even more value than you could have possibly gotten.
Yeah.
If you just went to them to just get something and just take something, that's all you're ever going to be is a taker. And people are going to associate you to being a taker. But if you're constantly someone that's giving, like eventually is going to circle back around.
For sure.
That's one. So Think and Grow Rich, Go Giver, man, 3rd book. There's so many, bro. I want to say something different.
He just says like Harry Potter.
Yeah, the I Spy book.
Fucking
Bible.
Lord of the Rings.
Yeah, Lord of the Rings. No, I've actually read that too. It's crazy.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay, so all right, 3rd one. Never Split the Difference.
Oh yeah,
by
it's a
Chris
sales
Voss.
book.
It's
By
actually
who?
it's Chris Voss.
Voss.
He's a hostage negotiator.
Not Chris Bosch.
Yeah.
No. Chris Voss, you said.
Chris Voss.
Yeah.
Speaking of the Miami Heat, Yeah. But it's a book. It was a really dope book that kind of changed the perspective of sales and negotiation for me.
It was a huge
It's
sales
written
book.
by a guy that's a hostage negotiator, bro.
Oh.
So yeah,
For
so
the
someone
CIA, right? Or the FBI?
yeah, for a whole bunch of
I seen his podcast with Ed Milet.
Yes.
Yup.
Yeah.
So that's a really, really dope book.
Sick.
Word.
That's actually that's a good list. Wasn't too many like super mainstream books.
Yeah.
That's a good list. I'm surprised you actually said Go Getter because I haven't.
Go Giver, yeah.
Go Giver. Sorry,
Yeah.
I haven't heard anyone else mention that book except for the person who gifted it to me.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's funny because I got that book as a gift too.
Okay, can I ask you a question?
Yeah.
Was this somebody part of an MLM scheme?
It was actually.
It was, right? I think it's one of their programs. Okay. Was it Amwave?
I don't remember, but
That's
it was like. But
fucking
you know what's funny
hilarious.
though? So
I had a feeling, but
Notice how I didn't get gifted the book? That means y'all hang around with the weird MLM people, yo.
No, it's like I give people. No, let me funny story about that, right? So that dude, this is like years ago, okay? And when I'm like just beginning my journey or whatever, he's like talking to me about entrepreneurship and
He's trying to get you, bro.
We're
He's trying to
hella
get you.
vibing, and I'm thinking we're hella vibing.
Yeah.
He's like, yo, you got to read this book, and then like I go and read the book, and then I come back, and then I'm like we're like talking about the book, and then he's like, and then he finally threw in it's like like MLM blah blah blah, and then I'm like, bro, like you should do real estate.
Yeah.
Like fuck all this.
Did you get him to switch?
Yeah, I did.
Oh,
Let me guess. He joined EXP.
No, he didn't. He joined another brokerage. Whatever.
okay.
But still, he's now doing
You
real
saved
estate.
him from the system.
But I'm like, bro, like look at this, bro. You're spending all this time convincing people of bullshit. Like, tell me what do you have to do to make your first 100,000 if you were to stick here? And then like he gave me like I don't even know how the fuck their business model works, bro. But it was a lot. You know what I mean? And he'd probably never get there.
Yeah.
But I'm like, bro, you do the same exercise, except you meet people and you try to sell them something that's
Real?
real and actually has like a commission number attached to it. Like you're gonna be making a lot more money.
Bro.
Do that instead.
I was so scared when you said Go Giver. that you were gonna turn out. No, I just thought he was gonna turn out to be like an MLM guy, which is fine. I actually like a lot of those guys. They're very cool.
What's this whole time I'm an MLM guy?
This episode never goes on the internet after that. Like.
Crazy, but no, that's fucking that's good.
That's so funny that you asked that though. I had no idea. I didn't realize that's like a thing.
But you know what, man? I don't know if it's a thing, but I just had to ask because again, I've never heard anyone ever talk about that book.
Really?
Except for the guy who gave it to me.
That's crazy.
He probably wrote the book, bro.
He didn't write the book.
No, but the book is super
dope.
The book is
sturdy.
The book is dope.
The book
it's a
is
tiny
sturdy.
book, like, you know what I mean?
Yeah,
you can read it in a day or less.
Another book he gave me too, which changed my life, was A Compound Effect by Darren Hardy.
I've actually read that book, but I didn't get it from an MLM guy.
Yeah.
I would actually throw that book in there too.
That book's like literally like,
bro, that book changed my life too. Yeah.
Changed my life.
You used that word earlier.
Sorry? We talked about It's funny that he told you because like, he's like, you sign one and then you sign two.
Yeah.
He's probably broke.
I would have been fucking in the MLM. Like. But you know what's crazy? Shout out to him. His name's Karm. He's a really cool guy. Even though I never joined his business. Even though I never joined his business, till today, he'll check in with me. Yeah. I've had, because he's married as well. And I got married really young.
Hey, Karm, I don't know who you are, bro, but you should get into real estate.
Yeah, honestly, maybe you should, Karm.
Why do you think he still checks up on you?
Just because he's a nice guy.
He's trying to get him back in MLM.
No, so? dead ass. I don't think. Wallahi, I've never actually took a moment to actually think publicly. I don't think it's anything to do with MLM.
Yeah.
He just saw that I was so young, and, and at the time I was living in Vancouver, and I had nobody.
Yeah.
And he was just like, even though I didn't join because it was about the money. I actually wanted to join his pyramid scheme, but I didn't have the money. But he just provided value.
You had to give money to join.
Like does it have like a sign up fee or something?
I didn't take it to the next level, so I was
text him and just say you're a little bit lost in life right now and tell me what he says.
Now, but he's a cool guy. Like, cause when I got married, like I called him because he's married and he got married young as well. Like, very cool guy.
Yeah,
he's an entrepreneur. It's just he's in
kidding.
the wrong
I'm sure
business.
he's a lovely guy.
Yeah.
But you know what? He does MLM on the side. He actually runs a very successful POS sales system as well.
Okay.
Like he sells company POS machines and he has a whole team. But
that's
about Karm.
So what are you?
Hold on. This has been a phenomenal podcast so far. We haven't had a mindset podcast like this in like fucking 6, 7, 8 weeks, which is great. But I do want to change pace slightly, okay?
Yep.
So we talked about success. We didn't talk about talent. We talked about success, opportunity, luck. But talent is also a key component. Now, it's a very big ask I'm asking, but since you're a singer, you came out here to perform. Can you sing for us on podcast?
Can I rap instead?
Sure. We just want to see some raw talent, bro.
Yo.
Umar loves it raw.
Oh my God.
Hey, yo, I'm moving with intention as I'm pushing out content. And stop messaging me talking about nonsense. I'm dropping big bombs every verse. That's a dominant. I'm buying real estate. It's most economic. Jeez. I got discipline. My habits are atomic. Hey. Shawty felt the synchronization because it all clicked. You know me, cold player, spitting all slick. She tell me that she love how I move with hella calmness. I put her on game, changed the only constant. I put myself in the mix, it changed me to a monster. Hella fly with some fans like a helicopter. Hey. Ask around my city, they gonna tell you that I bust up.
Jeez.
I paid the price like it's taxes gonna cost you. Dinner meetings over some Alfredo chicken pasta. Signed the deal, got my equity, I'm about to rise up. Telling you my spirit is a giant, we could size up. Really about to take over, let me emphasize it. You chose cause I'm purposeful, you're way too indecisive. I don't circumvent cause I'm handling my business. It's about the journey, not the destination or distance. It's Vozhi, you can witness.
Damn! Yo, let's go. That was fire.
We got some raw talent in the house, baby. We got some raw talent in the house. And the reason I did that, bro, is talent's a big component of success. You could, if you don't have the skill, you can acquire the skill, but you have to have the skill at the end of the day. And there's so many people putting out music that don't have the talent, which is fine. They're doing the entertainment aspect of it, but I just want to see, because it's so easy to hear a song that was recorded in a studio that has auto-tune and so much tweaking, but to see something raw like this, it's something. That was dope.
And most people usually they like pussy
they shy away
bro.
From this,
oh yeah, shy away. Sorry, yeah.
Except for our stand-up comedians have been pretty good to us.
Yeah,
but everyone else,
like, you know,
I'm not ready.
I didn't expect that, but shit, you know.
Yeah, that was fire.
Yeah, you're good, bro. Yeah, you're on it.
That was off the top freestyle, right?
A little bit, yeah.
I heard it.
All right, so we ask all of our Tamil guests this specific question. I don't know how to put this, but what are your biggest red flags in Tamil girls?
Oh my God.
Biggest red flags? I mean, just biggest red flags in women in general.
No, Tamil girls.
Man. I'm not trying to get canceled out here, but let me see. I mean, it's hard for me to specify. Okay, how about this? It's not about like, I think it's anybody, right, in general, but specifically with, you know, Tamil girls. Like, I mean, to each their own, and a lot of them, you know, don't necessarily grow up in every way for me to categorize them in that sense.
Yeah, he's very good at this.
Yeah, but
safe.
No, but like I mean, if you grew up within your culture, and you know you're able to see the beauty of your culture, but you're not someone that is, proud of your culture, or you try to hide who you are and, what your ancestors are, to me, that's not something that I necessarily vibe with. And I feel that there's something deeper within themselves that doesn't allow them to be that way.
Wow.
So I feel like, I would consider that a quote unquote red flag.
That was a very mature,
I rate that. And I actually
really
agree
like
with you, bro. With men and women, bro.
Like the coconuts.
Bro, no, it's not even the coconuts, bro. It's just like, I don't know what it is. I don't want to say too much, something too crazy, but I feel you, bro. I had to call somebody out the other day.
Really?
Yeah. We were at this family function and fuck. I'm not gonna name drop.
Don't name drop.
Here it is. Yeah,
It was somebody at a family function. I guess it's a family friend, you could call it. And she's from India. Like spent her whole fucking life in India.
Jai Hind.
Whole fucking life. Just moved to Canada maybe like 4 years ago. She's getting married now. It's fine. It's cool. It's cool. Somebody also from back home as well. Cool guy as well. But we're talking about where we're from. She's from the same place as me, Hyderabad, right? And when she says, she's like, someone asked, where are you from? And she's like, oh, I'm from Hyderabad. I'm like, why? And we're in a room full of Indians too. It's not like there's like white friends chilling around us or anything. It's like, I'm like, what? I called her point blank. I'm like, wait, why'd you say it like that? You're fucking from there. Rep it. Like fucking say it.
Right.
I wish I could say it with more fucking pronunciation, but my parents whitewashed us. Right? But like,
My parents whitewashed us.
like fuck, I still say Hyderabad, But that just irks me. It made me cringe so hard.
Yeah.
And I had to call her out in front of fucking everybody. And I feel bad. I usually am not that kind of person to put someone on the spot.
Yeah.
But when she said Hyderabad and the whitest voice ever, and she's actually from fucking India, it just cheesed
Did she
me.
cry?
No, she didn't.
Or did she's
She's like a tough girl, to be honest. She can handle
What was
it.
her response?
Nothing. She's like, oh, no. I just thought you guys say it like that. So I said it like that because we grew up in Canada.
Yeah.
But I'm like, stop. Stop the cap. Like, just rep it. Just rep it. That's all I'm saying.
How do you say it?
Hyderabad.
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 There's a proper way of saying it. It would be more with the Urdu accent, but I don't have the accent like that. But like, instead of saying Hyderabad.
Hyderabad.
Remember how in the podcast the other day I was like, when he said say Teriyam Dani, I could have said Teriyam Dani. I'm from fucking
You still
India,
can't say it.
but I said Teriyam Dani, and I purposely enunciate like a white person would because it's funny for comedy, right? That's not how I actually talk. But like that was a joke. But we're in a room full of brown people. And why are you saying it like you're white?
No, the crazy part is, bro, like I feel like it's interesting for me to be in Canada, especially Toronto, and look at all this like, diversity and like this is such a fantastic multicultural environment, right? And Seattle's also like a melting pot of it is a multi. You've been in Vancouver, so it's kind of a similar vibe.
Yeah, for sure.
But not that many like Tamil people specifically.
Fair.
Right? And I feel that a lot of the brown people that are within the greater Seattle area, within these metropolitan cities in America, they're all working in the corporate world. They're all they kind of have like a cookie cutter type of vibe. And I noticed that there is, it's actually interesting. There was like this, like I can't remember which account. It's like Brown Girl Magazine or some like profile posted something about like a bunch of like there was like a hot take amongst like brown people talking amongst themselves, right? And one of the hot takes was like, oh, like it's a red flag if a brown person hangs out with only brown people. Right?
What?
Is it a red flag if a brown person only hangs out with a bunch of like other brown people? Maybe this context doesn't apply in Canada.
Okay.
But in America, right? It's like it's such a big, melting pot. And I noticed that like a bunch of Indian people only hang out with Indian people.
Yeah, it's a brown flag.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It is a brown flag.
Yeah.
And then, one of my comments underneath that I just randomly just commented it because I felt it. And then like there was like 200 plus likes on that comment or whatever, right? And it's like, isn't it interesting that, some of the biggest consumers of hip hop music, like, happen to be brown people, but these brown people don't have like that many black friends. You know what I mean? And I was just like, I consider that it's not necessarily, like, it is kind of a red flag in a sense in America, but that's neither here nor there. I just wanted to put that out there.
Fair.
But no, I feel that like within Toronto though, like what I notice is that it's such a multicultural environment. Like everybody is like, repping with everybody. Obviously, Tamil people hang out with a bunch of Tamil people. Punjabi people hang out with a bunch of Punjabi people. It makes sense. It's community.
Yeah.
That's how it works. But I do notice that in Toronto, like everybody's got, friends of different, caliber, different, even though like from an outside perspective, right? They can look at y'all too and be like, oh, like y'all are both brown. So of course y'all are friends. But y'all come from completely two different
countries, different religions.
Yeah. But y'all are still able to, connect and unite.
For sure.
And it's not just between, people from the same subcontinent. It's actually people from different continents
for sure.
that I'm noticing. We're out in Scarborough. It's like a huge, like Jamaican community out here, Filipino community out here, Tamil community, all different kinds of, brown people. And y'all are all, intermingled.
Yeah.
And I find that extremely
Minorities.
beautiful. Yeah.
That's
That's
facts.
no, that's actually.
I actually have a random tidbit I want to ask you. 'Cause
Yeah.
I spent not a decent amount of time, but I've been to Seattle a couple times. But I noticed when I was living in Vancouver, over in Toronto, when we have like non-Indian brown people, so not counting Punjab, just Indian, Pakistan, Punjab, non-Indian, I'm going to categorize everybody together, not trying to,
Yeah.
for sake of
That's kinda
example,
racist, bro, I'm not
the
gonna lie.
non-Indian brown people are like either Tamil or Guyanese.
Yeah.
But I noticed in Vancouver,
Yeah.
it was like Fijian population was so high there. Is it like that in Seattle
Really?
as well?
Is there Fijians
There's no
over there?
Fijian people in Toronto.
Barely.
Like
Bro,
I've never met
Fijian
somebody from
thing,
Fiji
bro.
here.
Fijian girls.
But in Calgary, packed. Like sorry, not Calgary. In Vancouver, like if someone was non-Indian brown, they're from Fiji.
Yo, shout out to all the Fiji girls. I just
Yeah.
want to
There's,
out there.
there's actually a pretty big Fijian community in Seattle.
Yeah, it's weird. Maybe it's because the west side is closer or something.
Yeah,
I'm assuming.
Yeah, I'm not sure what it is, but there is like one of my closest friends actually. His name is Darren. He's a Fijian dude, and yeah, I actually helped sell his parents' house.
Shout out
back
to
in the
him.
day.
Sick.
Yeah, shout out Darren and his
Shout out to
his
Darren.
family.
Yo, so we're gonna wrap things up shortly, but before we wrap things, we have a final four segment of the show,
Yes.
and before we
Yep.
get to that, we want to ask you: is there anything else you wanted to talk about? Do you have any questions for us before we wrap things up?
Man, I just want to make a statement saying, I'm really proud of you guys.
Thank you,
doing
bro.
what you're doing. I really admire your consistency.
Thank you.
When I came over here, I didn't know that this is like a legit studio. You know what I mean? I was thinking it would be like someone's
house.
like house, and you probably have like a little area set up. And for me to come in here and see like an entire like legitimate production house, seeing that y'all are spending money, paying rent for this, paying for all this equipment, really setting the time to make this happen. And I saw how professional y'all were in sending me a calendar invite to be out here.
Yeah.
Right? So I wanted to acknowledge that. I wanted the
Appreciate it.
audience
Thank you,
to
bro.
recognize that these gentlemen are putting in intense effort to create what you're seeing, and just major acknowledgement and major round of applause for y'all for that. So
Thank
I appreciate that, bro. I appreciate that.
Thank
That's
you.
some good big ups, bro.
Yeah.
Now I'm feeling nice.
Yeah, I feel good now, bro. I feel a little good, bro.
good.
Okay, so let's go into our final four. So the first question in our final four is: if you had to swap lives with someone for 24 hours, who would you pick?
That has to be a quick answer.
Ideally, yeah, just like boom, rapid fire.
Fuck, bro. Like I don't know, like Rajinikanth. I just want to see what it feels.
Rajnik,
Bro.
did you watch Jailer?
I haven't seen it yet.
Are you gonna watch it here?
No, I'm gonna watch it when I get back home.
You should watch it here. Probably be way better, no? Like the
I don't know
community?
if I have the time, bro. There's just a
Word.
bunch of things happening. I can't, 3 hours.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Bro, if we had time, I would have went with you, bro. We could have fucking went. Shit.
Shoot, you know what? Like if we
see.
can make it happen
Yeah, we'll make it happen.
before I dip, then
That'd be
let's
jokes.
try for that.
Okay.
Okay, sick.
Yeah.
Who would you say is the most motivating person of all time for you?
Periyar. I don't want to just name down people, but he's actually like a really dope individual who is one of the founders of what's called the Dravida Munnetra Kalagam, and he's like one of the people that was on the forefront of abolishing like caste and abolishing like reasons for people to stick together and for Tamil people to stick together and to see past these like artificial barriers we place amongst ourselves. And the reason I say that is because my grandfather was like a huge disciple of his, and a lot of the mentality that's instilled in me about how to see humans came from my grandfather, and that came
sick.
from him directly. So
I'll
put him up there.
So it's like the Tamil MLK almost.
Low key, yeah.
That's sick as hell. I was
Yeah.
gonna say Gandhi, but we just recently read some
Yeah.
nasty
We
things
learned
about
some
him.
things about that man. We don't know. Not to discredit, but we just don't. Yeah.
It's crazy.
Gandhi. Okay, so let's just say your whole life from the day you were born till now is written in a book. What would the title of that book be called?
Growth.
Growth.
Okay.
Okay, a one word. I like that.
And the last question of the day is: if today was your dying message, what would your dying message to the world be?
Thoughts become things, so think carefully.
Wow, phenomenal.
Fucking hater, bro.
Yeah.
You're a walking, talking self-help book. We got there.
That's good. That's good.
That's a great way to end the show. Radies, take this one away.
Yep, guys, #1 podcast in Toronto. Make sure you leave a like, subscribe, all that good stuff. We'll put everyone's links down below. And until next time, remember,
Stay seeking success.
let's go.
Yes, sir. I appreciate y'all.
I was a hater.
That was good.